Hey guys, it's Jason from Schroeder Guitars, and I get a question fairly often about the bridges, about how to notch the saddles. So I'm going to walk through it with you and show you how I do that. So the first thing is, this is a brand new bridge that's been assembled, and you can see that there are no notches in the saddles at all. So so long as you have a guitar where the strings are going to line up, where they're perfectly centered on where the screws are. So I know there are some alignment problems if you cock a bridge back, like on a Les Paul Jr. Sometimes you need to move your notch to one side or another, but this is actually going to show you how to align them with the string guides in the back and the screws in the front. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Most of the time, guys who are doing like a Les Paul Jr. with the bridge cocked back a little bit are doing their own notching kind of off center so that it aligns with the neck. So this is just going to be the straight center of the brass saddles string notches, or saddle notching. So what I do is I actually use the string guide in the back part of the bridge as a guide for my file, and so I don't want to scratch up the back of the bridge. So what I'll do is actually use a piece of tape across the back end of it, like so, and then I'll use my thumbnail and crease the tape at the string guide, like so. Okay, so it might be a little bit hard to see there, but each one of those you can feel where that indent is for the string guide. Then I take a triangle file and I put a piece of tape around there. I'm going to put a new piece of tape because that one's kind of wearing through. That's just a secondary measure to make sure that I'm not going to cut into the chrome plating or the nickel plating on my bridge. Okay. It's got a new piece of tape on it, and I'm just going to ride this part of the triangle file along the back side of the tape in the string groove for each string. So right now, this is actually in the string guide on the back part of the bridge, and then I'm going to make the sharp part of the file run over the top of the bridge. And that's about all it takes. I want to work it from the back and make sure that it's angled from the back to the front, and then you can see, hopefully you can see that. And I want to make sure that the impression that I make, the slot that I make in the saddle itself comes down to the front part of the bridge, because the takeoff point of the string should be the front of the bridge, not the back of the bridge. And if you don't notch the saddles too, what you can have is vibration of the string on the front part of the bridge. So when you watch the string vibrate, you want to see it sitting still in the slot, and then from the front part of the saddle forward, you want it to be vibrating. So that's what I want to do on all three of these, and then we'll adjust the height of them to match the radius of our fingerboard. So I'll keep going on this. See that? Okay, so there we go. All the notches are in the saddles now. And the next thing we want to do is adjust them. When I look at this from the front now also, I can see a small indent, and like a half radius of the circle, a half circle, I'm sorry, from the front edge of the bridge. That's what you want to be able to see. If you can't see it all the way through to the front of the bridge, you need to make it a little bit deeper. The other thing is you always want to angle your file back this way, and that'll also ensure, just like when you're cutting a nut, it'll ensure that the front edge of your bridge is where the string takeoff point is. So I'm gonna grab my radius, and I'll show you how to do, if you do it off the guitar, to rough in a good radius, either 10 or 12-inch radius for your bridge. So. Okay, so here I am with the bridge after it's been notched. I just want to show you. You can see all those little half circles in the notches. When you look at it from the front, that's how it should look. And I'll show you how I used this little radius. This is a caul for pressing, for pressing my frets in. This is a 12-inch radius caul. Let's see here. See, it says 12 inches right there. And so I will hold this up. It's hard to do here looking through the camera lens, but I'll hold this so that it shows in the front, and I want that to be at the bottom. The bottom of every notch should line up with this contour here, and it does. So it's a great rough in. There are a lot of tweaks that may need to happen once it actually goes on the guitar, so we'll put it on the guitar and then check to make sure that the height of all of the strings above the last fret are the same. Sometimes you bring it up just a little bit on the bass side, but I have another video of how to set up the studs that might help you with that. But that's the way you do the notching in a good rough in for that guitar. But I wanted to show you how I adjust once the bridge is roughed in and the bridge is on a guitar, that the way to basically test to see if all of the slots are in the right elevation up and down, and to make sure that you have nice even action across your board. I'll take the guitar, I'll actually a lot of times use a capo on the first fret, or I'll just hold them down and then take a ruler and just look at the very last fret and double check at between the top of the fret and the underside of the string, what is the distance. And again, the distance between the two, not from the top of the string, but from the bottom of the string to the top of the fret at the end of each, at the 22nd fret or the 24th fret. And we're just going to assume that that represents, you can check it everywhere, you can check it at the 12th as well, but the bottom line is it should be the same height above all those frets, essentially. And like I said, sometimes I'll leave a little bit more relief on the bass side. So this one is 4/64ths, about 4.5 64ths, a little more than 4.5, approaching 5 64ths from here to here on this guitar. So I know that the action on this one is right. Now if, let's say I had one that was a little bit higher than others, let's see. What I would want to do if one of the saddles was still a little bit high, what I would do is slack the string so that I can pull it out of the slot. And then I'll use my triangle file again and drag it in there a little bit at a time. Use your 600 grit or so paper. Just run that through the slot a little bit, put it back in the slot and tune up. And then check it again by depressing all of the frets at the first fret. And then ensure that those are all basically going gradually, if anything, from 4 to about 5 from here to here. So that's all we do. You want to make sure that you take care of any burrs that are in the saddle, so you don't have any string breakage, especially right at the front edge. That seems to be where a lot of string breakage occurs. There's a lot of stress when the string is vibrating right there and it moves back and forth. And that's about all there is to it.